What's the craziest reason someone's mother-in-law had a public meltdown? My mother-in-law lost her mind at our wedding because I didn't use her homemade mayonnaise in the appetizers. I wish I were joking. The day before our wedding, she showed up at the venue unannounced, carrying 6 full jars of her special mayo. She cornered the caterers in the kitchen, demanding they replace every dish that used mayonnaise with her homemade version. She insisted it was a family tradition and told them it had to be incorporated into every appetizer and dip, or we'd be dishonoring the family legacy. No one had any idea what she was talking about. The caterers were polite, even humored her for a minute, but ultimately told her they'd be sticking with the original menu we'd approved. She was not happy. Fast forward to the reception. My husband and I are in the middle of our first dance when we suddenly hear shouting coming from the kitchen. People start turning. I see her storming out into the main room, red-faced and ranting that this wedding is a disgrace to our culture. She makes a beeline for the appetizer table, grabs a serving spoon, and starts digging through various dishes, yelling, "This isn't my mayo! Where's my mayo?" Then she knocks the entire table over in frustration. Mini sliders, shrimp cocktails, deviled eggs, gone. Just chaos. Guests were frozen, jaws dropped. My husband rushed over and tried to calm her down. She wasn't having it. She shoved him aside, marched over to the DJ booth, and ripped the microphone out of his hands. I will never forget what she said. "Everyone needs to know the truth. This bride deliberately sabotaged our family's recipe. She's trying to erase our heritage." You could hear a pin drop. And then she opened her purse, pulled out a backup jar of her mayonnaise, and started forcing guests to taste it. One by one, she went down the line, offering spoonfuls to horrified strangers, saying, "Tell me this isn't better. Tell me this isn't made with love." Security had to physically remove her from the venue as she screamed, "Real families use homemade condiments." It was like a fever dream. Our wedding planner cried. My aunt tripped trying to dodge flying potato salad. The groomsmen had to help the caterers clean up the appetizer war zone. It was surreal. Later that night, my husband told me something that made it all even weirder. His mom had only started making mayonnaise 3 weeks earlier. 3 weeks. She'd never mentioned it being a family recipe before. Ever. In fact, until that month, she regularly bought Hellmann's. We thought maybe it was just a bizarre phase or a one-time meltdown. Nope. After the honeymoon, we found out she'd been telling extended family for months that I had promised to feature her generations-old mayo at the wedding. She had even flown in her elderly aunt from across the country specifically to witness the tradition being honored. She created this entire fake narrative about how I'd embraced her recipe and made it a centerpiece of our menu. Of course, none of that had ever happened. I hadn't even heard of her making mayonnaise until the week before the wedding, and suddenly it was her identity. It's been 2 years, and she still brings up the mayo incident at every single family gathering. Anytime we disagree on anything, she circles back to it. "You know, I should have known you didn't respect our culture when you refused to use my mayonnaise. Thanksgiving? Mayo incident. Baby shower? Mayo incident. My birthday brunch?" She brought a jar as a gift and winked. I wish I could say it's funny now, but honestly, it's exhausting. The rest of the family doesn't even know how to respond anymore. Her elderly aunt still thinks I ruined a family tradition. I don't even correct her anymore.